Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Thorpe. Alex, Braves down 2-1. Uncomfortable situation, right? Makes you a little queasy, man. But I told you this is how it was going to be. I told you this was how it's going to be, and this is exactly what we got. And I told you what's going to happen in Game 4. Spencer Strider is going to go out there, throw his best pitching performance of the season in the bank, and it might only be like 7 shutout innings or 7 innings of 1-run ball. But given the circumstances on the road against this hot Phillies lineup in a place where they have lost their last 3 postseason games, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. This is where superstar pitchers show up. This is where it's like you talk about stoppers. Like this is where you stop the bleeding. And this is a different kind of stopper because it's in a playoff series with your back against the wall. But this is where your aces show up on the road and help you win a playoff series. You get Ranger Suarez on the other side. I know he pitched great against the Braves. I know he's pitched very well in the postseason. That doesn't mean he's not gettable. He is definitely gettable. The Braves have now seen him. They know what he's coming with. I think it's still going to be a very short leash. It's going to be the same thing you saw in Game 1. Then they're going to get that fresh bullpen that they have. And they have a lot of good bullpen guys, but they've seen all these bullpen guys. Nothing's going to surprise them. Spencer Strider goes out there. He delivers. And listen, Game 5, that ain't no gimme. I know they're coming back home. You got Zach Wheeler on the bump against Max Fried. But get it to Game 5. That's your job. That's your job here, Spencer Strider. Don't even worry about Game 5. Don't worry about the task at hand tomorrow. Worry about today. Spencer Strider, he's going to deliver and just get it back to Game 5.
You did predict it. Confidence level, listen, we should have won Game 1. I mean, our bats were asleep at the wheel. Spencer Strider went out there and did his job outside of one Bryce Harper home run, which, again, we talked about in past segments that, you can't expect these superstars. That's what Bryce Harper is a superstar to be dormant forever. They're going to get theirs. But Spencer Strider, who are you? They're chanting last night in the bank when they were up 8-9 runs. We want Strider. That place is going to be rocking. Spencer Strider's in the bullpen, screaming profanities at umps. He's in there. He's been thinking about last year's NLDS where he just got hit up. Who is going to show up? This could be a career-defining game for Spencer Strider. I have all the faith in the world. There's no injuries. There's no rest. There's no nothing. There's no excuses. If we lose Game 4 and we go home, there should be no excuses. We've got our best pitcher on the mound against their third best pitcher on the mound. Arguably, there's no excuses. Back against the wall, who is going to show up? Somebody show me something. And I really do believe that Spencer Strider is the guy with that fight, that intestinal fortitude, that dog that can galvanize this team with a moment like this in Citizens Bank Park where we bring it back to Truist for a Game 5. Only time will tell, but you got to like your chances if you're the Braves. Now, if you can't win this game, you're frauds. You're frauds. It's that simple.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say you're frauds because
we scored 0 runs, gave Spencer Strider 0 runs of support in the first game.
Listen, you'll have bad stretches throughout the season. Unfortunately, this might be a bad stretch. You're not going to convince me they're frauds. These guys can hit the ball. That's why I always think that this, with no matter what, until the final pitch of the last out, I'm going to think the Braves have a chance to win this series because at any moment these bats can wake up and start winning. And
to this point, though, the Phillies have owned us. It's time to turn the narrative around.
They've absolutely dominated the series, but I just think frauds.
And last year,
I also think the Phillies are the second best team in the league. So I don't think it's like you're losing. It's not like we're losing to the Diamondbacks and getting swept. Okay, that's fraudulent. That's fraudulent. You lose to the Phillies. I'm like, I expected this series to determine the World Series. I said that back in June. So this is what I expected coming into this series, and I knew we were going to have Spencer Strider on the mound at this point. I obviously hoped we were up 2-1 in the series. It'd make me feel a lot better. But there's something about him going out there that excites me because you find out what kind of man this guy is. You find out how big his nuts are. And I think you saw that emotion in the dugout. And listen, anything can happen. He could make some mistakes. The Phillies could just hit him, and he might not make mistakes, and the Phillies just hit him well today because it's baseball. That's what happens. But you find out in these moments what these guys are made of. And I know Spencer Strider was in there in Game 2 with that kind of emotion. after a pitch that actually was a strike to Kevin Pillar, but there were a lot of bad calls in the game, but the pitch was a strike. The reason he was showing that kind of emotion is because he knew damn good and well that if they lose that game, he's not going to get the ball again. And that is why he was so emotional in that moment. He wants this moment. I know there's no other pitcher. Maybe Max Fried, Spencer Strider and Max Fried want this moment as much as anyone on this team. I don't know if I can say that about all the other Braves because they haven't stepped up. Maybe Austin Riley, but those guys want that moment. And this is his moment. And he's got a chance to continue the season. And he's got a chance to become a postseason hero right here, right now.
It's very simple. Our stars have got to step up and be stars. Spencer Strider came out and did his job in game one. We didn't give him enough support offensively. Ronald Acuna had a very good game yesterday. It's time to start getting it over the fence. It's time to start, delivering in those key moments with runners in scoring position. Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, you're the home run leader. It's time to put one over the fence. Austin Riley's been doing his job. He's been seeing the hell out of the ball. Michael Harris, you got a 300 average and you're 1 for 28 in your postseason career. It's time to start putting balls in play. Our stars have to be stars. Spencer Strider's going to I have full confidence in Spencer Strider. It's the offense that hasn't quite stepped up to the plate. That's what our stars need to be stars. You're looking at the other side. You're looking at Bryce Harper. He has risen to the occasion. Ronald Acuna Jr., you're the MVP. What are you going to do to change this series? I'm looking at all the guys. I mean, this lineup is filled with all-stars. There's 6 all-stars in this lineup. We've got to get something from our stars. It's that simple.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is you have 5 guys on this team with 33 or more homers, 3 guys with 40 or more homers, and those guys have combined for 1 homer in 3 games. That's got to change. They got to have multiple. They got to have multiple today. They got to have multiple tomorrow. I believe in Spencer Strider. I really think he's going to pitch very, very well today. I really think I know, it's going to be as tough as the situation as he possibly can be, but this is where, the best pitchers in the game rise to the occasion. I know he wants this moment more than anyone. Hopefully it turns out the way that we see it. It's baseball. Anything can happen, but I really believe, especially if you can, I think a key to this game, and this is the key to so many games on the road, is really if you can get him a cushion, if you can get him to where he can pitch really comfortably with 2-run lead, good luck. Good luck. I think the Braves win this game, but they got to get him a cushion or it's going to be pressure all the way out. Coming up after the break, prime time back in Atlanta.